I hope that our citizens who traveled inside of our country took some rest. Each one of our citizens, after taking a rest from their holidays, hopefully will be working more for their sons and daughters and for their homelands. That is what I do expect from my citizens. As the global order is restructured again during those critical times, we should embrace our solidarity, our brotherhood and unity even more. And by doing this, hopefully we will make sure that our country is reaching to the level that it deserves. The ones who want Turkey to trample, the ones who want the Turkish nation to give up, and the ones who are trying to derail us from our targets, we will give them the best answer by working even more. My great and august nation. From the last cabinet meeting till now, inside and outside of Turkey, we have participated in many programs and we have many bilateral talks. And we closely followed the latest developments unfolding in order to make sure that we are creating new masterpieces for our country, and in order to serve our people, we worked day and night. After our last cabinet meeting on the 27th of June, one day later, we went to Spain in order to represent our country in the NATO summit. The NATO Madrid summit was held in a critical time as the Russian-Ukrainian war was going on. And we have explained the expectations of our country at the highest level. The expansion policy by NATO should go taken into consideration the sensitivities of our country, and we have staunchly expressed this during the NATO summit. In order to initiate the Swedish and the Finnish NATO membership, we have shared our acceptance based on certain conditions. Once again, I would like to reiterate that if those countries are not taking the necessary steps and fulfilling the conditions set by us, we will freeze this membership process. That is what I would like to reiterate once again. The main opposition parties and their extensions and offshoots are articulating different sentences, but it doesn't matter, and it is not binding on us as long as we are the governing political party. And I have to say that Sweden is not performing positively regarding to fulfilling our expectations, so our stance is crystal clear. The rest is incumbent upon them. After our Spain visit on the 1st of July, we have participated in the graduation ceremony of our military university. After the 15th of July coup attempt, we have opted for a modernized education system for our Turkish armed forces. In the National Defense University graduation ceremony, I have observed that the new system functions very well, and we see that and we are very proud and gratified that this university brings well and qualified soldiers to our air, sea and land forces. After the 15th of July coup attempt, our army has successfully carried out many cross-border operations which increased our belief and trust to our armed forces. After 1st of July, we were supposed to participate in a meeting in Bursa, but unfortunately, due to a health problem, we have to stop for a while in our programs. The Italian Prime Minister paid an official visit to our country on 5th of July, and we continued with our works from where we left off. One day later, we have hosted the Somalian president, Mr. Mahmoud, in Beştepe. And the Malaysian prime minister paid an official visit to Turkey on 7th of July, and we have taken the decision of increasing bilateral relations to the level of comprehensive partnership, and we have spoken over the phone with the Israeli and Palestinian Prime Minister, and we have once again repeated our suggestions for the peace and tranquility in the region. During the holidays and during the Eid, our telephone diplomacy went on unabated. With the Israeli Prime Minister, Mr. Labid, and with Mr. Putin, and with Mr. Zelensky, the Qatari Emir Sheikh Tamim, and the Armenian Prime Minister Pashinyan, and the Saudi Arabia Crown Prince, together with Mr. Salman, we have spoken over the phone. These are the leaders with whom we have spoken over the phone. And also, we have spoken over the phone with the Saudi Arabia king as well. From the Turkic countries to the African countries, all the way to the Balkans, we have spoken over the phone with many friendly and brotherly countries, prime ministers, and the presidents. And we closely follow the forest fires taking place in the Mediterranean and in the Aegean region, and we have received the latest information from our ministries, whom we sent to the region. One of the symbolic locations of the great resistance of our nation, in Saraçhane, we have come together with our citizens in order to commemorate our martyrs and extend our appreciations to our veterans. And that day, together with Mr. Bahçeli, we have come together in the Saraçhane Square. Tomorrow, trilateral summit between Iran, Russia, and Turkey will be held, and the seventh high-level cooperation council meeting between Iran and Turkey will be held. And in order to participate on those meetings, hopefully we will fly to Tehran, and we will have the National Defense Council meeting. And on Friday, first and foremost, we will participate in mass opening ceremonies, and on Saturday we will fly to Kayseri. There is no rest for the wearies, and the ones who work with love will never get tired. So with this understanding, we will continue to work in order to make Turkey grow, and we will continue to protect the rights of our citizens and our nation inside and outside of Turkey, my great and august nation. In order to make Turkey one of the top 10 economies, and in order to make sure that our nation reaches to the level of prosperity that it deserves, we create many projects and we build great Turkey and put all those services to the discretion of our people. Investment, employment, production, and the export are the basis of our economic strategy, and based on those pillars, we are realizing many projects and masterpieces whose results we are yielding right now. By making use of the Izmit Gulf, it takes only 2.5 hours with the use of automobiles. So during the heavy traffic, Izmit passage with Osman Gazi bridge can be passed within 5 minutes of a travel time. Only on the 8th of July, 80,624 vehicles passed Osman Gazi Bridge, Mr. Kemal. So this is not something which can be done by anyone. This is the success story of the staff and the caterers who believed in this success story. Without this bridge, the ferries will not be able to carry so many vehicles, and the transportation will definitely be turning into a nightmare without those Osman Gazi Bridge. This region is where you have been elected as the MP, and thanks to the Osman Gazi Bridge, the travel in this region turned into a source of joy rather than being a nightmare. On an average, basis, during the Eid, approximately 54,000 vehicles used the Osman Gazi Bridge. So approximately we have saved 4.2 million hours and 2.5 million fuels thanks to the Osman Gazi Bridge during the travels carried out on the Osman Gazi Bridge during the Eid. Thanks to this highway and Osman Gazi Bridge, our country saved from time and from fuel and also from emissions, and we have saved approximately 140 million Turkish liras. Osman Gazi Bridge and İzmir-İstanbul Highway as of 2016 has provided the return of investment from 36% to 136%. This project, without spending a coin from the state budget, shows us that we already started gaining profits out of this bridge. Once again, I would like to reiterate this unique project, the 1915 Çanakkale Bridge. Thanks to this project, the travel time in the Bosphorus reduced to the level of 6 minutes. Praises be upon God, we were the ones who accomplished all those projects, and together with all those projects, indeed, Turkey has started living a different lives. Once again, I would like to reiterate that without spending any public money, 1915 Çanakkale Bridge was constructed with approximately 2.5 billion Turkish liras, and on the 8th of July, 14,275 cars passed on Çanakkale Bridge. So, this bridge contributes remarkably to the social and trade relations of our country with the other countries, and the Çanakkale Bridge will definitely yield the return on investments. By the way, the ones who do not know the difference between the number of the cars actually passing the bridge and the guaranteed cars will be disclosed with the realities. On a daily basis, Osman Gazi Bridge has shown the passage of 132,377 cars, and this project is one of the best examples of PPP projects. There are the ones who are throwing and carrying out slander and lying campaigns targeting our PPP projects, and we know the reasons behind all those slander campaigns. The ones who don't want Turkey to grow and develop are attacking on energy sector and also the transportation investments. The reason behind all those delusions, of course, do not serve to the prosperity and the welfare of our nation, so they are not advocating the welfare and the prosperity of our nation. Since they cannot show their hostility towards our nation directly, they are trying to trample us as being against all those investments. In order to explain the benefits of all those investments on our people, even those figures should suffice. In the last 10 years, if I have to articulate the number of the passenger cars, I can say that the number of the vehicles increased from 8.5 million to 26 million. So the number of the vehicles in our country tripled. But you were speaking about the economic problems, but the numbers are speaking for themselves. So there is such a remarkable increase in terms of the vehicles. And right now, it is even very difficult to find brand new cars in the auto galleries, and they are only selling the second-hand vehicles. So with our investments adding up to 600 billion Turkish liras, we made sure that the transportation become very comfortable for our citizens, and the traffic accidents decreased by 82%. And this is the same thing for airway transportation. We are breaking records every day. During the Eid, the Istanbul airport enabled the landing of 1,400 airplanes every day, and the Istanbul airport served to 230,000 passengers every day. So everyone with a clear conscience would acknowledge that this traffic cannot be shouldered by Yeşilköy airport. So once again, we have been proven right. Istanbul airport has won many awards and has been shown as the airport in the Europe with the highest level of traffic. The first payment of 8.5 billion euros of Antalya airport extension project, approximately 2.5 billion Turkish liras, have been given to the treasury. So with this new additions, this airport has broken its own record, reaching to 584,000 passengers on a daily basis. So we are proud with all those investments and all those development projects. Thanks to God, whatever we have given as promise, we accomplished all of them. So if God is willing, we will continue to keep all the promises and the words that we have given to our nation, to our people. My great and august nation, our country has been going on exceptional times for a while, and we are witnessing exceptional incidents. Those exceptional incidents have disclosed itself with occupying certain squares of our provinces with the Gezi events, and such unfortunate incidents have taken place in order to destroy our national unity with Çukur events and the terrorist attacks by a PKK terrorist organization. The traitors inside of our police forces tried to seize the national will during the 17th and 25th December events. And such extraordinary incidents were taking place in order to abuse the chaotic environment after the 17th of June elections. And such unfortunate events also took place on the night of 15th of July coup attempt in order to seize the control of the whole nation. Such unfortunate events also took place when the terrorist corridor is tried to be constructed on our southeastern borders. Such unfortunate events took place when the attempts targeting our economy took place in 2018. This unfortunate event also came into being with the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, which tried to suffocate the economy of our nation under the pandemic. And such unfortunate events took place when they tried to suffocate and asphyxiate our economy under the foreign exchange fluctuations. And those exceptional incidents took place when the global crisis are tried to be put on us, which was aggravated with the Russian and Ukrainian war. Such exceptional incidents are still taking place as some people are trying to create a pessimistic picture based on increasing inflation. Turkey continues its path by overcoming all those challenges from America to all the way to Asia. The whole world is striving and struggling with recession and hyperinflation, and hopefully we are determined to make sure that Turkey will survive at the face of all those challenges. Every experience that we had brought us exceptional lessons. Despite all those challenges, we didn't only reconstruct the infrastructure of our country, we have also carried out radical transformations in our administrative structures. The presidential system is the peak of those transformations, and each one of those transformations are just like silent revolutions. In the past, we had to face with many challenges which would have turned our whole administrative structures upside and down, and we have overcome all those challenges thanks to our changes in our administrative structures. And we are facing with many global economic challenges. Even the advanced countries are having difficult times in order to overcome those crises, but thanks to God, we are managing this economic crisis, very successfully. We are attaching our utmost importance to the employment of our citizens, and thanks to that, both inside and outside of our country, everyone is giving the credit to our economic program, and with that economic program, we are marching ahead to our targets with determined steps. The fluctuations in the forex and also the increasing level of inflation leads to the losses in the lives of our people, and we are taking necessary measures in order to compensate those losses. We have increased the minimum wages and the wages of our public servants in order to make sure that those losses are compensated. We have kept our promises when we said that we will make sure that our citizens are not crushed under the increasing level of inflation. Hopefully, we will assess the wages and the salaries of our workers with fixed income. Thanks to the fact that the exports go on unabated, we will take the necessary steps which will turn this global crisis into our opportunities. We will yield the positive results of the economic policy that we have implemented so far as of February and March next year. As we make sure that Turkey will reach to 2023 targets, hopefully we will shape the 2053 vision. We will yield the results of every sacrifice, and rest assured our endeavors will not be in vain. We will protect our country from the shackles and the chains of the totalist supporters, from the claws of the terrorist organizations, and from the attacks of the coup plotters, and from the incapabilities of the greedy politicians and the traps of the foreign powers. In another saying, as we have protected our countries from all those attacks, if God is willing, we will be the ones who will resolve all those challenges. As long as we show patience, as long as we work, as long as we produce, and as long as we embrace our country, as long as we make sure that our brotherhood is not destroyed, the rest will follow, and we will accomplish all those things. Turkey will embrace 2023 without any accident whatsoever, and as Turkey passes 2023, a bright future will await all of us, which we shall observe all together. My dear brothers and sisters, our athletes in the first 7 months of this year performed remarkably in the international contests and made us all proud. This year, our athletes won 2,632 medals in 38 different branches. On behalf of myself and my nation, I would like to thank each one of them. Our athletes, last but not least, have really increased the success threshold one step further in Algeria, where the 19th Mediterranean Games have been organized. On behalf of myself and my nation, I would like to congratulate each one of our athletes which returned to their homes with 138 medals. So, since those medals are coming from different branches, it shows us that the sport infrastructure develops on a balanced fashion in our country. The sport facilities that we have constructed in all our provinces are used very efficiently with the use of modern training techniques. The ambition of our youngsters, their determination and their hard works are added to all those modern techniques which resulted those success stories, of course. Between 9th and 18th of August, Konya Islamic Solidarity Games will be organized, and on between 29th of September and 2nd of October, the Turkic Games will be organized, and then the Paris Olympics will take place. Hopefully, the momentum that we have obtained in all those competitions will go on in those contests as well. As you know, between 15th of July and 1st of September, all the dormitories will be kept open for our students so that they can make use their summer times much more efficiently. Via reservation, our students have already started to make use of those dorms. And in order to make sure that our students can see all the museums in our country, we have implemented the GNC Museum Card application. By making use of this museum card, our students can visit more than 300 of our museums free of charge. Turkey has provided the highest level of grants and scholarships to our students. For example, this year, 750,000 of our students benefited from our dorms, and more than 500,000 of our students made use of the scholarships, and 881,000 of our students received student loans. Within the last 20 years, the loans and the grants and scholarships increased by 14 times. So the BA students receive 850 Turkish liras as a scholarship, but as we have come to office, the scholarship was only 45 Turkish liras, but right now it is 850 Turkish liras, and for the MA student it is 1,700 Turkish liras, and for the PhD students, the students can either receive 2,550 Turkish liras as a grant or as a student loan. So in the next year we will revise all those figures, of course. So by screening all those students, the scholarships and the student loans are given to our students with just, fair and transparent manner. By the way, the student loans are given to any of the applicants. As you know, the payments of those student loans start after 2 years of graduation. But if a student couldn't find himself or herself a job, they can postpone their payments. Up until now, The payment of all those student loans and their revision is not defined based on the interest rate, but by the producer price index. We have never accrued interest rates to those student loans, but Mr. Kemal says many lies. So even without being ashamed, he is speaking of interest rate payments. And if you can prove it, we never impose interest payments to any one of our students. Unfortunately, the inflation increased to the levels that we didn't desire. This led to a high level of payments of those student loans. Of course, we cannot put such a pressure and burden on the shoulders of our students. That's why we have given orders to our colleagues. In the previous cabinet meeting, we have taken the decision that the student loan payment will be down without the imposition of any inflationary pressure. So every one of our students who are still paying their student loans will make use of this decision. As a result, we will be shouldering the 26 billion Turkish liras of an additional burden, which was indeed going to be shouldered by our students. So 1,049,000 of our students and who are supposed to start their payments, and 1,295,000 students whose payments are followed by the tax authorities. So in a nutshell, approximately 3 million of our students' loan problems will be solved once and for all. So from now on, the students will be responsible for paying only the amount that they receive as a student loan. May this decision be auspicious for our youngsters. I also would like to herald one good news to our teachers and our master teachers as well. The teachers who are working in the Ministry of National Education institutions, for every 5 courses that they teach, we will pay them a fee of 1 additional course. So with this regulation, a teacher who teaches 30 courses and the Quran course teachers with a 68% of a salary increase will have the chance of receiving 5,740 Turkish liras. And the master teachers with a 64% of an increase will receive the wage of 7,400 Turkish liras. May this new amendment and regulation be auspicious for our teachers, for our master teachers, and the Quran course teachers. The health sector is the sector in which we have carried out many transformations. It is really important that every healthcare professional, from the students to interns all the way to the doctors, should be able to work in peace. And this also includes the interns who are dealing with the patients, even if they are at the last grade of their university education. In order to increase their motivation and in order to make sure that they are receiving what they deserve, we have taken the decision of increasing their salaries by 1/3 of the minimum wage, including but not limited to medical faculty and the faculty of dentistry. And the interns will receive an additional amount as their salaries at the level of minimum wage. May this regulation be auspicious for the interns of the students of both faculties. Our doctors who are committing themselves to the well-being of our patients cannot be subject to any form of violence whatsoever. We cannot forgive or tolerate such violent cases. This is nothing but treason. And as the state, we cannot accept such treacherous attacks on our doctors and healthcare professionals, as we cannot accept it as the state. The judiciary will definitely follow those cases. And in terms of receiving and taking the precautions which will prevent violence shown towards our medical professionals, we will do whatever it takes. We will continue to provide solutions to every one of our citizens in our nation. Once again, I greet you all with love and respect. Hopefully those good news will pave the way for our bright future.